guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new here, my name is Lisa. I'm a freelancer in Cornwall, and if you're not new here, welcome back. Today is a very exciting day because I have a new toy to play with. I have treated myself to a new vlogging camera. Now, I am vlogging at the moment on my phone still, my iPhone 15 Pro, but I've wanted one of these cameras for quite a long time, and I finally made the purchase. Not a cheap purchase by any means, but a necessary one, I would say. I did tell you that I was going to do a month's worth of vlogging and then just go all in, because that is just me to a T. Like, as soon as I start something new, I am all the gear and no idea. I need to have everything that anyone could possibly need to do the hobby that they've decided to do. There's no like just dipping my toe in. It's all or nothing. That's just me as a person. I've always been like that with everything I do. I've actually gone for the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, I think that's what it's called, which is this little camera here. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. This isn't going to be a camera review vlog, don't worry. For anyone who's not interested in cameras or anything like this, just maybe skip on for like the next 2 minutes, but I promise normal order will resume. I just had to show you guys because for the rest of this vlog, I'm going to be filming on this. You turn the camera on like this, and then it's on a little gimbal, which does like follow you around. I'm not entirely sure exactly how to use this yet. It's kind of the purpose of this evening's walk, which I'll come onto in a moment to test it out. But it's got this screen here. Sorry, this is dreadful. I'm trying to I'm getting confused now of all my screens. Where you like twist it so you can film in horizontal mode, or you can do vertical for like Instagram reels and stuff like that. So it's going to be great for vlogging, but also it's going to be great for my business too, because I create a lot of content for my social media clients. So really it's a business expense, and a girl's got to run her own business. She's going to need the equipment. That was my thought process. So yeah, I went for the creator combo as well, which a friend recommended to me who's also into content creation and YouTube specifically. So it also came with this charging handle, which you charge up separately, so it gives you an extra like cycle of charge. I do believe with these cameras they do suck up a lot of battery power, so I think you get about 2 hours of battery with this, whereas if you obviously have the handle for extra battery, then you're good on the move. It's also going to be great because it means that I can be saving my phone battery for actual things that I need to do on my phone whilst out vlogging, because I was finding that when I was vlogging on this phone, I was using up a lot of storage on my iPhone for these longer vlogs, but also using a lot of battery and then not being able to use it for like things like maps, or if I wanted to listen to a podcast while I was like doing little bits of vlogging and stuff. It was just a bit all over the place. So I'm glad that I've got this separate thing to basically film my content with. So now that I've introduced you to my new baby, we are going to go out for a sunset walk. It is Bank Holiday Monday today, and it's 7:20. The sun sets around 8:30 p.m, which sounds crazy really, because it's like summer has just flown by in a flash. I remember when we were coming out of spring into summer and I was thinking, oh my god, the sun's setting at like 8:30. This is exciting. It's only going to get later from here, and now we're like back around the other side. I mean, 8:30 is still quite late for the sun to be setting. Like, we know what it gets like in England. We know 4 p.m. sunsets they're not that far away, and I don't want to talk about that because I don't want to wish away summer. So I've parked at Sea Space in Porth, and then I'm going to do the coastal walk to Watergate Bay. And basically the reason I'm doing this evening is to test out the new camera, but also to squeeze in one last beautiful evening in summer before the rain hits next week, because we are forecast some pretty terrible weather for the rest of the week. So I don't really know what the rest of this vlog is going to look like, if I'm honest, but we'll just see how it goes. I've done this walk before, but I don't think I've vlogged it, so it'll be quite nice to bring you guys along and yeah, take the camera for a test drive really and see how she fares. I'm going to head out now because I don't want to miss the sunset. From here on out, fingers crossed that it goes well and this camera works, you should be seeing footage from the new camera. So yeah, let's go test it out. Okay guys, we're on the new camera. Wow, it feels so much nicer to hold as well. Right, I'm gonna try and pan it back to me. Ready? Oh my god, that's so weird. I don't even know if you're gonna be able to hear me. But holding this feels so much nicer than holding my phone. I don't know why. I feel like a kid at Christmas. This is better than Christmas Day because it's sunny. From here on out I will be vlogging every single moment of my day because like this just makes it so much easier. I can't even describe. Anyway, for the people that don't care about cameras, which I appreciate, there's probably quite a few of you, we'll get back to the walk. So I'm just heading along the headland now to Watergate Bay, which is a big surfing hotspot in Newquay. Well, to be honest, all of Newquay's a surfing hotspot, and I feel like most people who live here surf. I don't, and I'm definitely the minority for surfing because yeah, everyone here seems to surf, but that's fine. I don't think it's something I'd actually ever want to try either. Like, never say never, but I think there's some hobbies you just know, like, I'm not gonna like it, and I think surfing is definitely one of them. I prefer sea swimming, which I'm looking forward to doing more of that in the winter months when it's colder and when it's quieter. I think I'm looking forward to autumn in terms of like cold water swimming and also runs that are a bit less intense with the sun. While the sun is setting, I thought we could have a little catch up. I haven't actually vlogged for a week now. I've put the camera down and been focusing on other bits and bobs, mainly work, and also because I've been so good at filming these vlogs because I just love it so much, I now have a little bit of a backlog, so that's been kind of the reason why I haven't picked the camera up for last week. But also, total transparency, the last week I have just been in such a rut, mentally, creatively, just everything really. I don't know what it was. This is so normal, but yeah, it was pretty bad. Like, normally if I'm in a rut, it's like 24 hours, a bit of a rubbish day, and then I can get myself out of it. But this one was like, went on for a good like 4 or 5 days where I didn't really want to get out of bed. Like, I didn't want to exercise, I didn't want to go out even though it was really sunny. And that's when you know like something's not right with myself, when I don't want to get out when it's sunny, because if you know me, I'm like any excuse to get to the beach. But yeah, I don't know what it was. I tried everything. Like, I went to run club on Saturday, and I don't want to say I hated every minute because that's not fair, and also I probably did get some benefits from going without knowing it, because if I hadn't have gone I would have stayed in bed all morning and probably been worse off. But yeah, I just was like, couldn't get into it, was struggling just to like keep motivation up. I got halfway and I was like, oh, I can't be arsed with this. Like, I stopped, and like then I lost the group, and then I felt like crap about myself, and yeah, I don't know, just kind of like lingered through the day. And then yesterday again, Sunday, like bank holiday weekend and a sunny day, and I just didn't want to get out of bed. But to be honest, I let myself have like a morning to mope. About what? Don't ask, because I have no reason to like be sad. Everything is great. But I let myself have that morning, and then I forced myself, literally dragged myself out of the house to the coastal path, actually like the other direction, by Porth, and I was sat there reading my book thinking like, still feel like rubbish, nothing's helping. And then I was like, no, just stay for like 10 more minutes, put your phone down, read your book. And I don't know, I just like, it managed to get me out of it. I think I just needed time off my phone, if I'm honest. It's really hard to do that when I have the job I do, which is really dependent on me being on my phone and yeah, creating content. I know that I choose to do some of this, and it's a genuine passion. I would say like 85% of the time it doesn't affect me negatively. In fact, I only think it enhances my life, because I do actually find that by creating content I get out more, because I feel like I'm excited to make a video. I think I do get a lot of positivity from content creation, but I also think it's quite easy to get burnt out. I was so glad I got out yesterday, and then as I was leaving, I had been sat on the headland just above this beautiful beach that was like pretty deserted and not many people can get down there, so the sand was like untouched. And as I stood up, I saw that basically like a beautiful sand drawing had been done in the sand. I'll like try and insert a picture here so you can see. If I had just stayed in bed and not gone out, then I would have 100% missed that really amazing moment of the day, because this person had just drawn this picture in the sand and that would have been washed away, you know, in an hour's time after even I saw it. So only a few people that day saw that, and I don't know, I just felt like it was kind of quite poignant, and maybe like, I don't know, the universe sort of saying to me, if you come outside, this is what we'll show you. And then I went on to do a really short, like 20-minute loop, and ended up bumping into a really lovely tourist that asked me to take her photo, and then we got chatting and had like a lovely 15-minute conversation. And I just think that's the kind of stuff that makes you feel better and more like connected with the world when you're feeling a bit crap. My last point on this before I move on is that my friend messaged me that morning and said, when I told her I was like, oh, I feel like crap again today, she was like, mood follows action, not the other way around. And it's been stuck in my head ever since. So if you've not heard that before, it basically means that your mood isn't going to just be positive and ready for the day. You have to snap your brain into action with an action to then have the mood follow that, rather than the other way around, like just sitting around waiting for the mood to strike. It's going to take you a hell of a lot longer. So I feel like that's what I did. I just forced myself out, and then like slowly but surely my brain caught up with my action, and then my mood matched. So yeah, that's my TED talk for the day. Thank you for coming. But yeah, nature always helps. Such a gorgeous evening. Let's head back to the car now. That was so lovely. Didn't mean for a DMC to just unravel then, but keeping it real over here. Feeling way better this week, so yeah, all is well, all is well. This camera I'm obsessed with. Now I know I am getting ahead of myself because I haven't even reviewed the footage I just took, but I can already tell it's going to be amazing because you can play it back on the little screen, and I could hear the audio, but I'm going to check it when I get back to see how it sounds. Anyway, I promise this is the last bit I'm going to talk about camera stuff, because I appreciate not everyone's here for that. Morning guys, we are in Falmouth today. I thought I'd come to Falmouth to do a bit of work because I fancied a change of scene, and it looks like this is going to be more sunny than Newquay today, so I've zipped over to the south coast. I'm actually just outside my childhood home. This green one here wasn't green when we lived there. Used to be my childhood home, which is really crazy. I grew up in Falmouth and had the best childhood here, but my parents moved to the Lizard when I moved to uni, and to be honest, I didn't take it super well. I was pretty gutted when they moved and said they were selling the house, and even though I didn't live there, I was like, how could you be so selfish to sell my childhood home? But now I'm so happy because they're really happy, and the house they live in now is so much nicer in my opinion. I'm just going to head into town now, which is like literally just down the road here. I'm going to head to a place called Beerwolf, which is a really cool bar, cafe and bookshop. So you can sit and work from the bookshop. It's really nice. So yeah, that's where we're going to go today. Hey guys, just got back to my car. It's 12:30 now. I'm getting really hungry, so I'm gonna drive over to the beach, try and get parked. Good luck to me. And then we're gonna head for lunch at Castle Beach Cafe, which is this really cute cafe just on the water's front. Let's go down and grab some lunch. Can I get the mozzarella pesto and tomato toasty? Yeah, I will, thank you. Yeah, that's everything. Thank you. Guys, I was just the victim of a crime. I was a victim of a savage seagull attack. I am mortified. Now, I grew up in Cornwall and I know that seagulls are not to be trusted, but they are something else in Falmouth. I am telling you that for free. They are something else in Falmouth. Like everywhere else I've been, they are like to be watched, but if you're like guarding your food, they're not coming for you. But in Falmouth, this is the only place that I have had my food stolen twice now. It happened maybe like 6 months ago here, and I was being probably a bit careless. So every time I come here now, I'm like super vigilant. But basically, spent nearly £8 on a lovely toasty, and I was carrying it down to the beach. I was going to sit on the sand and have it. There weren't really many seagulls circling, so I thought it was fine. Also, it was covered with paper. So it's not like I was just sauntering around with an open dish of food. I had it also quite close to my body, and I just heard the rip of paper, my arm like get jerked this way, and I felt a disgusting slimy beak on my finger, and this evil seagull had basically got my food. So I'm really, really upset. And then I turned around and this couple had seen everything that had happened, and I'm just glad I wasn't filming, to be honest, because that would have just been the cherry on the cake of like my ultimate amount of embarrassment that I could handle in one day. Then I had to walk past the couple. The woman just looked at me like, yeah. And then the man was like, oh, did it get your food? I'm like, yeah, no shit. No shit. To be fair, he was really nice and was like, yeah, oh, they're absolutely awful here. They're buggers. Like, oh, I'm sorry that happened to you. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed. I've got secondhand embarrassment. Only 2 people saw us, fine. They're evil, I swear. I hate them so much. I'm sorry if there are any animal lovers on this channel. I'm an animal lover, but not seagulls. They are evil, rats of the sky. Anyway, thankfully, because it was covered with paper, it basically pierced the paper, and then it pierced like the top. I'll try and show you. It pierced the top of the sandwich, so that piece is not edible, but the bottom slice is definitely still edible. So I'm going for it because that didn't get touched. Oh, I'm so annoyed. Also, there goes my plan, my lovely plan to sit on the beach and have lunch, but it's fine. My car is parked just up the road from the beach, so I have technically still got a sea view. I'll just have this and then maybe I'll go back down, although I don't think I can go back down, guys. I don't think I can go back down because I might bump into that couple again, and I'm so embarrassed. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever been savagely attacked by a seagull. I'd like to know that I'm in good company and that this is not just me. If you live in Cornwall, I'm gonna say you definitely have, because they are just, yeah, they're renowned, they're renowned. And if you're coming to Cornwall and you're coming to Falmouth specifically, don't even bother eating outside. Like, just don't, because they are, yeah, thieves of the night or the day. And they come up from behind you as well. That's what happened. This guy swooped over my shoulder. It didn't even have the audacity to fly away with its goods. It just sat next to me eating the tiny piece of bread that it managed to scrounge from me. Like, at least have the common courtesy to rob me and then make a getaway for it and fly away. You know what I'm saying? And now it started raining. This has been a bit of a disastrous afternoon. Morning was great. Anything post sandwich seagull attack, not so great. I think I'm gonna call it a day, guys, and I think I'm gonna drive home and finish up the rest of my work at home. It's still been a lovely, lovely morning. I've got out of the house. I have been to a new place to work remotely. I've had a lovely coffee. I've had half of a lovely sandwich. A seagull had the other half. I've done my duty as a citizen of the planet and fed the wildlife today. And I think that's enough. Good morning, guys. It is Wednesday. For the first time in forever, it is raining. I'm meant to be working, but how am I meant to work when the couple of the century just got engaged? Obviously, I'm talking about Taylor and Travis. What a time to be a Swiftie, honestly. Just keeps on giving. I have a really busy day today. I'm just making a tea now. Ooh, steamy. I have a client meeting in 10 minutes, which is an hour and a half, so I'm making a tea to strap in. We're doing some planning for a future campaign, and then I just have a lot of scheduling bits and bobs to do. I also had 2 new inquiries over the bank holiday weekend, which is really cool. Quite funny because most of my client inquiries came from people I have worked with in the past or through word of mouth, which is amazing, and that's kind of the way you want it to be. You want to work with people and then have that work be seen by other future clients and have people talking about you in the industry. That's a good thing. I do have a contact form on my website where you can put your details in, and I set it up 8-9 months ago, and I've never had anyone come through there because they've either found me and then got in touch with me directly, or they followed me on Instagram and kind of followed me for a few months and then got in touch through Instagram. But over the bank holiday weekend, I'd have had nothing on this contact form for 8 months. And then on the same day, within 30 minutes of each other, I had 2 inquiries. How strange is that? Both did say they came through Instagram, so that's where they initially discovered me. But I just thought that was so funny. Like, what are the chances that on the same day, let alone the same week, but within a half an hour period, 2 completely separate clients get in touch via the contact form? So weird. I'd like to go for a run this evening, but the rain's not looking great and my motivation levels are not looking great either. But I also feel like I really need to do some form of exercise. Maybe going to the gym might be a good option as well, especially if it's going to be raining. But again, it's just my motivation. It's just it's left the group chat. It's just gone. Oh God, 3 minutes to my meeting. I'm going to go finish make this tea and go do my meeting, and we'll catch up later. Into other pieces of content as well as having that hero piece that we can then pin to the top of the Instagram account as well. That's my one meeting for the day done. Love meetings that you get off the call and feel really inspired and excited to do the work that you have to do. I am starving, so I'm going to make some lunch, and then I've got the rest of my to-do list to tackle. And the sun's out again now. I don't know what's going on today, what the weather is doing. Blue skies, but it was pouring with rain earlier. So I don't know what's going to happen this evening with my run. In fairness, I should go for a run even if it rains, because what does it matter? Like, if you get rained on or not, it's actually quite refreshing sometimes. I think I'm going to have some poached eggs for lunch because I don't really have anything else in. I also really need to do a food shop. I just feel like I'm not really very organised at the moment. That in my personal life, my work life, great, going so well. My personal life, just a bit of a hot mess, to be honest. There's just stuff I need to be getting done. There really is. Also, I need to send all my invoices today. Haven't done that. And that's the important stuff, you know. I don't do this for fun. I need to get paid. I also need to book my trip. I'm planning a trip next month, which might be this month, depending on when you're watching this, probably will be September. I'm booking a trip for September, and it will be my first solo trip of 2025. I'm going to give you 3 guesses as to whether or not I went for my run this evening. I'm annoyed at myself. Also, I'm not feeling 100%, and I'm gonna let myself off. Actually just gonna have a really chilled evening in. I've made myself a little herbal tea here, and I'm gonna read my book. It's this book here. It's called Here One Moment, and it's by Leanne Moriarty, who wrote Big Little Lies. If you've not read that book, that was one of my favourite books that I've read probably in the last 5 years. Amazing. But this one is such a page turner. I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm gonna head to bed now with my book and my tea, and I'm hoping I'm gonna be feeling a little brighter and more energised tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. Well, the good news is I've woken up this morning and I'm feeling much better. I don't think I'm coming down with something, because I think if I were, then I would have woken up this morning feeling really rough. You sound a bit croaky, but that's just because I haven't had my morning coffee. That's actually where I'm off to now. I'm off to meet my friend for just a little coffee and a catch up at Newquay Garden Centre. On the agenda today is a new client discovery call, which is very exciting. I always get really excited for the prospect of working with a new client. It's actually mad to say, but I'm actually fully booked for the next month. So that's another thing that I need to speak to them about, is to say, you know, if you are willing to wait and want to work with me, I'm not really available until October, which is crazy. Like, I don't think I could have dreamed when I first started this in January that I would be like having a wait list almost of clients. It's just bizarre to me. It never feels quite like it's sunk in. I'm actually doing this and like living this dream that I'd always dreamt of doing for so long when I was working in the corporate world. I used to sit at my desk and think like, oh, one day I'd love to be a freelancer, but I just don't know like how that would work. Like, how would you even find clients? Like, who would pay me to like do their marketing as a freelancer and like put all their trust into me? I don't know. And now it's like actually worked. It's crazy. I'm gonna head over to the garden centre now and enjoy a nice coffee. Back from the garden centre, and there's a parcel waiting for me, and it's from the Cornish Tea Co, who actually did message me and asked if they could send me some tea. Now, this is the first time in ages that a brand has actually sent me something, so how exciting. It's got my Instagram name on the label. That's always a good telltale, because not many people know that that's not my surname. Lisa Sennen is actually my middle name. Sennen is my middle name. Lisa's my first name. So I thought we could do a little unboxing, because how fun. I'm just trying to cover the label so you can't see my address. I love getting parcels like this, so much fun, especially ones that you didn't have that panic where you're like, what have I ordered? Oh, cute. It says, hey Lisa, we wanted to show you our brand new 80s design your own box. Feel free to draw on it, paint it, add your own creative twist. We're big fans of your content from Cornish Tea and Coffee team. Oh my god, that's so sweet. Love that. The boxes, you can see. I know most people in England like tea, but when I tell you I drink a hell of a lot of tea, I'm obsessed with tea. I actually used to work in a tea shop when I was at university. Shout out All About Tea in Portsmouth. Is it a mug? Oh my god. I love this. Look! And it matches my nails. Look at this! So cute! That's going to be so nice for like going out in the winter months with like, you can take like a proper tea on like a nice walk. It's got like a little lid as well. And it says Cornish Tea and Coffee. Oh my gosh, that's so lovely. Oh, okay, yes, that's the tea. It's called Smuggler's Brew. Your brew, your box. Oh my god, I'm so excited to try this. I'm gonna make a cup of tea with this right now because I haven't had a tea today. Obviously went for my coffee this morning. I'm notoriously bad at opening boxes and envelopes. I cannot open a letter to save my life. Oh my god, what's happening here? I'm not actually going to make it in the new mug because the new mug is like that metal enamel kind of feel, and for me, I wouldn't drink tea like that at home, but that is definitely coming out with me on my next walk. I also have my tea super strong. If you know me, then you'll know that. I literally put like the tiniest drop of milk in, and everyone looks at me in horror as if to say, are you actually going to drink that? I don't put any sugar in my tea either because I like to actually taste it. That's how strong I have it. People always say to me, oh my god, is that a coffee? Are you drinking coffee right now? And I'm like, no, that's just tea. I've got to wait for it to cool down just a second, but I will be back in 2 minutes with the final taste test. It's time for the taste test. Now, I am not a tea connoisseur by any means, and I'm not going to be able to tell you probably like flavour notes and stuff, but I'll be able to tell you if I like it or not, and I'll be very honest. Still quite hot. Oh, that's a good tea. No, that's a banging tea, banging tea. Thanks for joining me on this lovely tea tasting experiment. I'm very happy with this. Hi guys, excuse the state of me, but I have woken up with the most agonising pain shooting up my neck. It's so painful, and I think I'm just at a point where I need to look at some modifications maybe for my desk, because I've been putting in the hours this week. But I think where my laptop's like lower, I think what happens is as I get more engrossed in my task and as the day progresses and I get more tired, I am like just leaning in more, and I must have done something to strain this neck because yeah, it's so painful. I've taken ibuprofen and paracetamol this morning because I'm about to go and drive to Falmouth to meet my friend, which I know I could cancel, but I just feel like it is Saturday. It's meant to pour it down with rain any minute, and I just feel like if I'm gonna be stuck indoors anyway, I may as well be stuck indoors with my friend. So we were just gonna head down to the beach and go to Castle Beach Cafe, which is actually where I went when I got attacked by the seagull. Maybe the seagull did this. Maybe I can sue the seagull. I don't think that actually happened. I think it's me. It's all me. We were going to meet at Castle Beach Cafe and then go and sit in their new outdoor seating area where they've basically created this lovely space where you can sit and watch the ocean, which is really smart because it rains a lot in Cornwall, and when it was raining, no one would go down there. But that's what we're going to do. There's also these 2 armchairs in this seating area because it's quite small. There's probably seats only like maybe 10 to 12 people, but there's these 2 armchairs that are like prime position and they sit and overlook the ocean, and we were like, wouldn't it be nice if we could just like sit in those chairs and do nothing all morning? So I am gonna make myself be able to drive. I am fine, like I can move, so I can turn this way, like that hurts a bit, and then it's like, oh god, it's like turning here, like I can do it, but it feels so sore. And then I think what we'll do after we get hot chocolate is maybe go into town, see if I can find something for this, like a rub or like a heat pack or an ice pack. I don't really know, to be honest, but my friend Lucy's really good with this kind of stuff. Good morning, it is Sunday and my neck is feeling, I'd say probably 20% better, but I couldn't sit in and just waste the day. I have had a very slow morning. I've dosed up on painkillers, but I actually decided to get myself a National Trust membership, which is the most I've just turned 30 thing I could have possibly said. Actually, I think it's going to come in very useful because there's so many beautiful National Trust spots to visit in Cornwall, but even like parking is so expensive, and the membership itself is like £8 a month, which I know isn't the cheapest, but also if you work out even just going to one place, like the place I'm going to go to today, would cost you like £15 entry and £6 parking. Like, I've made my money back and then some. That's how I'm seeing it anyway. So we're going to head off to National Trust Trerice today, which is a 10-minute drive from my house. I thought it would be a nice one to check out. I don't want to be going too far away from home just because I am still struggling with the pain in my neck and the pinched nerve, so I just thought even if I can get out for like an hour or two. It's 1:30 now, so yeah, I'm planning to just be out for a couple of hours, have a little explore, give my National Trust membership a test run, and yeah, just go and see a new spot that's so close to my house that I haven't checked out yet. Just parked and it's very windy here. Heading in now. Wish I knew about that place earlier in the year because they have the most beautiful garden, and I would quite happily sit there for 3 hours in the sun reading my book. I feel like I shouldn't say this because you guys are going to be like, oh my god, we're watching this like many weeks later, which kind of gives away the game that I'm editing these vlogs so slowly. But tomorrow is the 1st of September. I absolutely love September. It's my favourite month of the year because it feels like we get a mini reset. I think it almost feels more of a reset than January, and I also really like January, which is, again, an unpopular opinion, but I feel like when January comes around, I'm so done with Christmas and celebrations and like all of the food and the excess, and like I do like Christmas and I like to indulge and enjoy, but I just feel like when you get to January 1st, I am so ready to rip that Christmas tree down, and it feels like a nice refresh. But September gives me that feeling too, which is quite strange. I guess it is the beginning of a new season. Summer has ended. It's that back to school vibes that I think I've taken into my adulthood too. I just still feel those back to school vibes. So I'm looking forward to starting September on a good foot. And also it's very satisfying that the 1st of September also falls on a Monday. That's really doing a lot for my brain chemistry. I've just had dinner, and as I said, I was doing a bit of planning for the month ahead. So basically in my freelance business, I've come up with a new system, which is my ride or die for basically making sure I don't forget everything. Because at this point, I am working with so many different clients with different deadlines that honestly, the thought of not having this system in place, it puts the fear of God into me. I can't have paper to-do lists because I need everything to be like in one place. So I've got this new system where I basically at the end / beginning of the month, so today is the 31st of August, so this is why I'm doing it today on a Sunday, I create on Trello a task for every single thing I have to do, which sounds excessive, but it works. So I put it into a column called September to do, and I literally go through client by client, post by post, and I just, every post. So if a client A, for example, has an email newsletter that goes out on the first Thursday of the month, that's a task. Then if there's a client that's got a social post on a Tuesday and a Friday every week, each one of those posts will have its own task, which goes into this column. And then I literally put deadlines on them, which you can do in Trello. If you're not familiar with Trello, it's basically like a organization system online. There's lots of different ones that you can use, but this is the one I find the most user-friendly because it's very like drag and drop, very easy. You can color code it and it's super organized. I will set a deadline and then I will put in the brackets how long I think the task will take as well, which at first I didn't do, and I think I was like, oh yeah, I can do all of that on one day. And then I quickly realized that like whilst one of those could be ticked off in 10 minutes, another one took like 2 hours, and it just helps me to see like how many tasks I can realistically fit into a day. So anyway, that all goes into the like big September to do. It's chaos. And then each week I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday as separate columns. And then I literally drag and drop the tasks that I need to do on those days. But that just helps me to get organized. So that's a really long-winded way of saying that that's what I'm doing this evening. It does take me like maybe a good hour and a half to do this, but this means that I know I can literally sleep easy knowing that like past me has helped future me to not forget anything. That's how I work. If you're a freelancer, I'd love to hear how you manage your projects. If you're like a marketer or a social media manager like me, I'd love to hear it because I kind of geek out on these things. This system's working for me and I would highly recommend anyone else that needs a bit of organization in their life to look into Trello. Another thing I'm doing this evening is sorting out my trip for September, which I'll definitely share more about. I don't mean to be secretive, but I'd rather not say anything until it is actually booked. But I'm very excited. It's going to be my first solo trip of 2025. As I think I said earlier in this video, that's going to be something I'm going to look at / maybe book this evening as well. And another reason why I need to be super organised in September, because taking a week off, pretty much, I'm going to take my laptop and I'm going to be like posting stuff manually, but I am going to tell my clients that I'm not really going to be contactable, and I would say 75% of my work done before I go away. That takes so much prep you wouldn't believe. It's actually giving me anxiety thinking about it, which is not like what you want to be feeling when you're booking something exciting like a holiday. But I also know that I need to do it because I've been putting this off for the last few months thinking, oh, no, now's not the time. And that was probably the right thing to do. Also, I really wanted to spend a summer in Cornwall again and experience, summer in Cornwall, because last year I went to Europe for August and most of September. And the year before that, I was in London, and the year before that, I was in London too. So it's really nice to be back in Cornwall to enjoy the best season of the year down here. But I do want to also do some more travel and exploring and take you guys along as well. That's going to be on the agenda for this evening too, is booking that. All that being said, I think I am going to sign this vlog off here, guys, but if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching and spending the week with me. If you've enjoyed my video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I really look forward to seeing you in my future videos. There's going to be a lot of exciting stuff coming up in September. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.